With a great weather forecast, the caller's gone out for a boys' fishing and diving weekend. I put my culinary talents to work and show my mate Ian how to cook up tasty fish dishes and my secrets for smoking succulent fish. You always have one eye on the weather when you're a fisherman. A great settled weather pattern and the start of the scallop season meant only one thing: a boys' weekend. My mate Ian Biddick brought his Stabycraft up to my beach house and we were soon off on a scallop hunt for the first part of our adventure. Dropping the anchor on the abundant scallop beds in Whangarei Harbour, the sounder was showing a comfortable temperature of 18 degrees and the water was looking reasonably clear.
Just gearing up for getting the water. Hopefully there's some nice big scallops down there. Looking forward to it. First dive I've had since last season.
Ian was over the side quickly on a spot I dive regularly and was soon heading for the bottom. So my job as boatman is to keep an eye on the divers. I watch their bubbles, see where they're moving to. If I have to pull the anchor up and get over there in a hurry, I know where they are. And also to be aware of any other potential dangers, you know, boats rushing around, logs, anything like that. So yeah, just keep a good eye on things, just make sure things are safe. They've got about an hour there, so they're only probably going to be down for half an hour, so I'll keep an eye on that too. And yeah, be a good boatman, because we get 20 scallops too, even if we don't get wet. Ian was a bit like an overzealous schoolboy at the sight of the lots of big fat scallops on the seafloor. He was in such a hurry that he forgot to put on his dive gloves, a mistake he would pay for with cuts from the sharp shells of the scallops he was gathering. In this area, the legal size for scallops is 100 mils across the shell, and Ian was checking his catch carefully, leaving any undersized scallops where he found them. A successful dive completed, I spotted Ian coming to the surface.
Yeah, I went down there and didn't even get a chance to put my gloves on. Sorry.
There you go.
Get you to do a double check on those and give me my gloves back, please.
I did a quick recheck of the scallop size with a measure just to be sure.
Jumped in the water today for part of the boys' weekend. Got our 40 scallops for the two of us, and looking forward to dinner tonight, I can tell you.
Our first meal was fresh scallops cooked on a charcoal hibachi with a dipping sauce made of lime, soy, chili and garlic.
Here we go. That is awesome. Absolutely awesome.
There's nothing like the conversion, probably 3 hours from the sea to the table on the beautiful barbecue hibachi, fresh scallops. I've made a little dipping sauce. It's a well-used phrase, but life doesn't get better than this. We were greeted with a sensational day as we headed out for a fish. Good morning. For the next part of our boys' weekend, Ian and I have come down to Waipu Cove by the Waipu River mouth. Now our plan today is to try and catch a few fish for the smoker and a bit for fish and chips tonight, because what else do boys eat but fish and chips? And Ian is really keen for me to show him the way I smoke fish. So the birds are looking interested, the bottom's got a few fish on, let's see if we can get a couple.
I've tried some of Adam's smoked fish and I've never been able to replicate that, so Adam and I are out fishing today for some fish for the smoker so I can learn the tricks of the trade. Adam marked some snapper down there, fish dropped down with the coga and hooked up nicely, and pulling a little bit of string. It's not going to be a huge fish, but it'll be a nice dinner fish for tonight. What a crackerjack of a day.
Oh, it can't get any better than this.
Oh.
You're working on that fish a little bit, Ian?
Yeah.
Do you think you might need the net?
Oh, I don't know whether I need the net. Maybe I've got the drag too loose, but it's got a nice bend in the rod.
Yeah. It's a good way to start our account, that's for
Absolutely lovely. Oh no, this is a nice fish, Adam.
sure. Oh, beautiful. It's exactly what we're hunting for.
That is just perfect.
Oh, look at that. While Ian opted for a coga, I decided I had some nice fresh skipjack that I caught, and I put that out and stray lining it, little bead sinker, got smashed. I think I've got a nice fish too. Oh yeah, here he comes, looking good. Oh, look at that. Another beautiful fish. Ian's hooked up as well.
I got a nice take there, fishing the light tackle again, and the beauty of fishing over sand, there's nothing going to bust you off, and you just need a bit of patience. And yeah, he's hoping it's a goodie at the end.
It's just one of those very special days today, mate.
Oh, this is just beautiful. It doesn't get better than this.
Conditions are just perfect.
Yeah.
Fish are biting. You know, usually you don't get the two together very often.
We got it today, that's for sure. Yeah,
Grab the net.
Pop that net underneath them.
Oh, great. Beautiful.
A lot of fun on light tackle. Just love it. It's great. You're on a fish for 5 minutes, it just makes it worthwhile. You know, you've got to play it, you've got to work it, you've got to look after it all the way through. It's great. I love it.
Good effort, mate. Next up, we hunt for some bigger fish and find some great action. I cook up some fish and chips with a twist and show Ian how simple it is to smoke your catch.
Awesome, Adam. Thank you, mate.
After a good session on the snapper, we headed to Bream Head, an area that usually holds some big kahawai. But today, among all the actions of birds and whales, there was no kahawai at all. But we weren't complaining. Well, we came in amongst these birds in hopes of finding a few kahawai for the smoker. But the sounder told us a different story. It was all bottom food. And we hooked a couple of nice snapper, but this one's got more of a deliberate head shake, so I think it's slightly bigger than the others we've been catching, and it's been pulling string pretty much all the way up through the water column. And here he comes, he's floating up now, I can feel it. Yeah, he looks pretty good. Not a bad fish. Yeah, that's a nice one. Look at that. And he's still fighting all the way to the top. On the Lumo Pirate, very good lure for big fish. I'll get him in the net. He's definitely one for the smoker. Who needs kahawai when you've got snapper that size? There we go. That is a fairly good chunk of fish. It's good size for the smoker, probably 4.5, 5 kilos. And grab that Lumo Pirate, a favourite lure of mine.
I've been fishing the Koga and got some nice snapper, but Adam was fishing the pirate jig and caught a really nice, caught the fish of the day. And he said to me, would you like to have a crack at it? I said, yeah, that'll do me. So that's what we're on now, and hooked up real well.
That's what mates are for, you know, sharing lures.
Good on you, Adam.
You were talking about winding down before when you're playing a fish.
Yeah, just look after the reel. Just load it up, wind down without any pressure on the reel.
Yeah, keep the rod loaded though, eh?
Yep.
Yeah. It's a good way to fish. They told me the birds love you. Here he comes. Nice. Look at that.
Oh,
that's a doozy.
that's a cracker. Oh, there's not much holding that fish on.
Yeah. I think that one will go well in the smoker.
I think so.
So we came out, we've failed dismally on the kahawai, but I'm not really that worried about it.
If you have a look at where he's hooked, not much holding that on.
Nah, just by the skin of the teeth, as they say.
Quite literally. Lovely snapper. I'm real pleased with that.
The first secret when I'm smoking, if you have a look at the way I've split these fish, I've split them in the reverse so the belly cavity is intact, so they open like a book, and that leaves the most meat and even cooking area. Brining your fish, what I'm going to do today is we've got some fairly large fish not going to fit in the fridge, so I'm going to brine them just in common sea salt. You can use any sort of sea salt. I prefer stuff that's not iodized. I think it taints the food when you smoke it. So just common old sea salt, and you give it a generous sprinkle, and then you ice it down for probably 24 hours preferably, but tonight we're going to probably get it out after about 3 or 4 hours and chuck it in the smoker, but we'll get the salt on it. As you see, I'm being pretty liberal. I don't think you need to do the skin side, the scale side. I think you only need to do the flesh side to brine it. It's a small one, mate, you must have caught that. So we've had our fish brining for about 4 hours now, and I've brought it out just in the late afternoon sun just to dry it off a bit, get rid of a bit of the moisture that gathers on it, giving it a pat down. Next trick, and it's very simple, I use raw sugar, not brown sugar. Brown sugar can make it a bit dark. So we'll give it a sprinkle of the raw sugar, good liberal coating, rub it in a bit. Like I say, I don't do the scale side, I don't think you need to. It gets the colour on it. And I'll leave this for maybe, once it's on, give it a few minutes to sort of dissolve. Right, leave that to dissolve for a couple of minutes, then into the smoker. I'm using a Bradley smoker today. It's an old one I've had for a lot of years and it's very good, but the secret is the temperature and the time. So I'm going to be cooking it with a heat at about 99 degrees. I'm going to smoke it for about 2 hours and leave it in for about 4 hours total. So it should be ready sort of just after dark.
Yum, I can't wait. It smells fantastic out here right now.
I'm just going to put it in, put the thickest fish at the bottom and put the thinnest fish at the top, because obviously the thicker fish will take more heat and longer to cook, and you'll get more heat at the bottom than you do at the top. So yep, stack it up, then wait for 4 hours. We'll be eating smoked fish. So as promised, I'm going to cook Ian up my favourite fish and chips, and I've just got a new recipe lately which is fairly simple. What you do, instead of dusting your fish in flour to start with, you use taco seasoning, which you can buy at most supermarkets, and you dust the fish in that, dip it in egg, and then we put it in a mixture of breadcrumbs and sesame, and that adds a really nice crunch. I tend to use the panko breadcrumbs, the Japanese breadcrumbs, because they're really crunchy, love those, and it's really simple. Then just fry it each side till nice and golden brown. Use a nice big container to put your panko and sesame in, because it makes it easier to coat your fish. Use quite a lot of sesame, because the toasted sesame flavour is really good and goes really well with fish. Dust it off. Dip it in the egg. Use your fork so that saves your fingers getting all covered in breadcrumbs and stuff. And then into the breadcrumbs and sesame, give it a good coat, give it a shake around, press it in so you get good coverage. So once you've done all your fish, what I like to do then is put it in the fridge for about 15 to 20 minutes, because that makes the egg set, makes it firmer, and it cooks a lot crunchier. Cook the fish in a shallow layer of rice bran oil. Get this nice light golden brown colour, you don't want it too dark. Absolutely perfect. Here you go, mate. The finish of a bloke's weekend. Here's your fish and chips.
Adam, look at that, mate. I just love fish that's got a crunch. This looks absolutely fabulous. I can't wait to get stuck in. I love fish with texture. Look at that, that's beautiful. Awesome, Adam. Thank you, mate.
It's had its time, let's just check it out. Wow, look at that. Looks pretty done to me. It's got a nice brown colour, amber colour, not too dark.